Shall we look at some more weird and creepy videos? Rhetorical question. Obviously, yes.
Collecting binary codes from the cemetery, dude. This is very interesting. Y'all need to go follow this guy too, man.
Look, guys. Gone in 2021. It's a wild guess why, but we're running binary codes here, guys, off the thing.
Get away from me.
Guys, we're right here at the cemetery, and this person was gone in 2023, and we're collecting binary codes. We have both of our phones on airplane mode, so it collects no binary codes at all. But when you get close to her grave, look, you had a number right there. Get close. Look, 2022, guys. Binary codes up the ass right there. There's information coming out of the graves, guys. And doctor, just so everybody knows, because they think. Look, guys, that grave is giving binary codes.
Look at it.
Now that's kind of spooky there, right? Ghosts communicating in binary code. I wonder how that thing works. Oh, you can see here it's an EMF detector. But they did make a point of saying that their phones were in airplane mode. I mean, unless you do a quick Google search, and I think even with airplane mode enabled, electrical currents continue to flow between different components of your phone, and these small electrical currents produce EMF radiation of their own, so your phone continues to emit low levels of radiation. But I don't like being so skeptical of everything. Let's have another ghost and technology clip that's not so easily explainable.
All right, in the cemetery.
You don't have to dictate, babe.
Okay. Oh, there's a couple. You see him?
No.
Look.
No.
Let me back up. Let me back up. There was a couple of them.
Wait, our whole battery is gonna get sucked away because they're using it for the energy.
Look right here. Watch, there's a couple of them. Watch. Right, 1, 2, 3.
Whoa!
Oh, look, they're by the car.
Oh my God, go, babe.
Okay,
Let's go.
okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
Ah, see there, that's better. We can still creep ourselves out with modern technology. I don't know how Tesla's human detection system works, and since I don't know, ghosts. It's gotta be ghosts. So, good. Still spooky. Alright, what's next on the docket?
I saw this dude give a story on TikTok where he went to Bluff City, Utah. He's like, I don't believe in this whole simulation, but what I experienced there had me question if we're in a simulation. He said, every place I went, we were at this hotel, and then we went to a grocery store and then a restaurant. People were weird acting. They were like not expecting someone to come in. So he went to the hotel clerk. He said, hey, can we get some towels for our room? She's like, oh, actually, I don't know where they're at. This is my first day on the job.
What?
And then he went to the store. Something wasn't working.
Weird.
And she's like, I'm so sorry, this is my first day on the job.
Weird.
And then he went to a restaurant and the card wasn't working. And she's like, I don't actually know how to work this machine. This is my first day on the job.
Like a Truman
Then
Show.
another guy who duetted it, he stopped in Bluff City and he saw this hitchhiker girl walking on the side of the road. He said 30 miles down, the same girl
Stop it
was
right
walking.
now.
I think I saw something similar to that, but like it always reminds me of the Truman Show. There's got to be a civilization or a community that's pulled that off or done that in the past. No matter how terrible it is, something's happened.
North Korea.
Like that.
Huh. Okay, that story does contain two things that go together really well. Weird people behaving strangely and Utah. Yeah, so maybe there's some truth to it. If anyone knows about Bluff City, please post, because I'd like to know about Bluff City and if that's weird. Real quick, you know what my favorite part of that video is? It's this here.
And then he went to the store. Something wasn't working.
Weird.
And she's
Went to the store and something wasn't working. What? Something wasn't working at the store. Oh God, weird. Oh, it's so weird. Is it really that weird that something's not working at a store? Also, North Korea. He mentions North Korea at the end. That's interesting. no North Korea, you silly gooses. That's just bizarro land. It's weird. It's like a dystopian oddity over there where like somehow it is the Truman Show, and yet it is the Truman Show in a way where everyone is the Truman. It's mind-blowing. Luckily, we live in the United States, and we don't have anything shady or nefarious going on behind the scenes, and everything is exactly how it seems, right?
See that guy standing next to the president? You know, the one that looks like a butler? His name was Don Regan, the chairman of Merrill Lynch, the richest and biggest retail brokerage firm in the world. He took the key position of Treasury Secretary so he could enact the tax cuts that the rich wanted. Regan then became White House Chief of Staff as the president started to fade.
Then they should give the president what 43 governors have, a line item veto. And
Who tells the president to speed it up? The man from Merrill Lynch, that's who. Things in America would never be the same again. The country would now be run like a corporation.
we're going to turn the bull loose.
So some people think we live in a democracy, and some people say it's a constitutional republic. But I think it's pretty clear it's an oligarchy. We live in an oligarchy. It's a lot of rich people that kind of make decisions for everybody, and that clip was evidence to that fact. Hey, speaking of facts, you know what's a fun fact? You know that company everybody's talking about, BlackRock, that like owns everything? You know who owns the most of BlackRock at 45%? Merrill Lynch. And you know whose dad was a senior vice president at Merrill Lynch? I'm not making any crazy conspiracy accusations. It's just a fact. Hers.
A lot of Christians will not listen to Taylor Swift anymore. They believe she's crossed a line, she's doing way too much demonic shit. There's a really interesting new crazy conspiracy theory about one of her songs in particular. Craziest conspiracy theory ever about Taylor Swift is that she is the rejuvenated clone of the high priestess of the Church of Satan, Zena LaVey. Their lips, nose, eyes look identical. They both happen to have the same fixation of snakes and snake handling. And it's insane because they're both renowned singer-songwriters. Like, that's their main job. Each of them, they have too much in common. Now, in 2023, there's definitely been an uptick in the amount of demonic symbolism in Taylor Swift's music videos and songs. This amazing Christian TikToker, Karu, got millions of likes for saying,
"Here's why I don't listen to Taylor Swift anymore as a Christian."
His theory that he talks about specifically is about the Willow music video, where there's this string attached to her piano, and anytime someone hears her play music, they get entranced and obsessed with her. They want to be by her. And his whole point was that people get so obsessed with Taylor to the point where they're almost worshiping her like she has their soul or something. In the video, she's on her ritualistic witch ceremony shit. He thinks all those oars represent people's souls who are obsessed with Taylor. And she follows that string right back to her piano because that's what gets people to be obsessed with her. That's where her power lies. This makes sense because Willow is very demonic coded on tour. Before I say the craziest part about this whole conspiracy theory, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of your favorite celebrities and request who you want to see next. Taylor has a whole EP for this song called The Witch Collection with songs like Dancing Witch version, Lonely Witch version, Moonlit Witch version. She's admitting she's a witch.
I like Taylor Swift, and you can fight me about it. I don't listen to her music. I don't like the music of Taylor Swift, but I respect what she does. I think she's all right, and I hear she puts on one of the best shows. If I had a chance to go see a Taylor Swift show, I would absolutely go. I wouldn't know any of the words to any of the songs, but I hear it's one of the best shows, most entertaining shows that you can see. And as far as her dad being Merrill Lynch Senior Vice President, yeah, but you like the Strokes? I like the Strokes, one of my favorite bands. Julian Casablancas, one of the greatest songwriters, lyricists. I love him. His dad was the founder of Elite Model Management. I mean, that's a pretty nice foot in the door. And for every story like Taylor Swift, whose dad was an insanely rich person, and who's or like Julian Casablanca, whose dad was an insanely rich person, I'm sure there's a lot of insanely rich people that have had children they've tried to make famous and failed because their kids sucked. But Taylor Swift, I think she's talented, and I would go see a show. But does she look like that Satan priestess? Like, oh man, she looks almost identical. That is uncanny. Like, look at that. That's crazy. That's pretty crazy. But I think that it's all, what a wacky coincidence that is, right? Or maybe she's a clone. She could be a clone. She's a clone. She's a clone. She's a clone.
Go to Google. Seriously, go to Google and type in Great Fire Oven, then input your city. Matter of fact, input any city. You know what you're going to find? You're going to find that there was a big fire in every major city in the United States in the late 18 to early 1900s. Why, you ask? It's a good question. It's not by coincidence, and you best believe a lot of history was destroyed in those fires. And it's crazy, because we hear about all these ancient societies that had all this advanced technologies. Where did it all go? How did it all just disappear?
All of these buildings all around here, as I told in class last night, they're ancient. There's a whole city underneath this city. They went and burned all the major cities, the major energy centers.
We burned almost every physical book in the country.
This was the controllers trying to utilize leftover technology.
How did they build it?
There is nothing new under the sun. What happened to the Tartarian Empire? Imagine how pyramids were built. All
I love Tartaria stuff. It's one of my favorite little conspiratorial fantasy things to think about, because there's so many undeniably weird things that all kind of line up in such a way that it really does make you wonder. For example, without even getting conspiratorial, just Google antique map 1700s, antique map 1600s. Look at that. There's always going to be a huge section of Asia that is labeled Tartary or Great Tartar sauce. But there's a chunk there, and in history we heard about the Mongolian Empire, we've heard about the Byzantine Empire, we've heard about the Ottoman Empire. Those things, Mongolia exists, but the empires don't. But we still know about them, we still learned about them. How has there been for hundreds of years this huge section of Asia labeled Tartary or Tartaria on these maps that like no one ever heard of? It's crazy. And then you can look up CIA documents on their declassified site, and it talks about how it's Russia it was planning on and did completely rewrite Tartarian history. And what's the flag of Moscow? Interestingly enough, it's this Russian knight stabbing a black griffin to death. And what was the flag of Tartary or Tartaria? Oh, black griffin. It's just so weird. And I don't know. And then you combine all that with the architecture. It's fun to think about. What else is gonna be a video?
A massive underground structure that is 4 times the size of the Egyptian pyramids, that is protected by the military in Alaska. On May 27, 2020, Nathan Campbell was dropped off in one of the most remote parts of the world, Denali National Park. He was there to embark on a mission to find the Black Pyramid. The Black Pyramid is a legendary underground structure rumored to be massive and ancient, at least thousands, if not millions of years old. But he unfortunately went missing, never to be seen again. The Black Pyramid is part of a broader set of theories about secret military installations in Alaska, like HARP. The pyramid allegedly disrupts electromagnetic fields and is strategically positioned for global military advantage. Reports of its existence gain attention from an anonymous naval captain. The retired captain called into Coast to Coast and stated that during the 80s, he worked on a top secret radar installation in Alaska. He noticed a mysterious, highly powerful electromagnetic source disrupting his base's aircraft and communication for years. Suspicions of this pyramid were validated when, in 1992, scientists studying shockwaves from a Chinese underground nuclear test recorded a grainy pyramid-shaped spot of interference 700 feet below the surface of interior Alaska. No one knows if Campbell truly believed in the pyramid. During a search, they found some of his gear, but no sign of him.
There is so much human history that is completely lost that I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of crazy electromagnetic pyramid buried in the middle of Alaska. we've existed as a species, the Homo sapiens, for 200,000 years, just how we are now, about, give or take, 200,000 years. And we have been building structures and farming and living in communities for 6,000 years, recording history for 6,000 years. That's 194,000 years of supposedly behaving completely differently. Like, imagine bees have their queen bee and their drones and the worker bees, and then suddenly they just abandon all that and behave completely differently. I think we had figured out that you could plant seeds and make crops grow and record history and invent things way earlier than is accepted by main. I'm with Grant Hancock on this one. Yeah, there's more to our human history than what we know or what is accepted by mainstream, in my opinion. Hey, while I got you here, I don't make any money off of this, and I have like less than 500 subscribers. So if you want to see more of these videos, I beg you, engage, like, comment, subscribe. All of those things would be pretty neat. If that's not your thing, if this isn't for you, but you still made it this far in the video, thanks. And I'll leave you a link here to some kid playing Fortnite, which might be more fun for you.
The devil lives in this airport. Denver International Airport has been a subject of numerous conspiracy theories since its construction. Here are some of the most prominent ones. The Blue Mustang statue, the large blue horse sculpture, known as Blucifer, that greets visitors at the entrance of the airport has attracted attention. Some believe it to be cursed or possessed, while others speculate about its symbolic significance in relation to the airport's alleged secrets. Apocalyptic imagery. The airport's artwork and murals have sparked theories about a hidden message or agenda. Some claim that the murals depict themes of war, destruction, and apocalyptic scenarios, hinting at a sinister purpose behind the airport's construction. Alien connections. Given the airport's remote location and vast size, some conspiracy theorists suggest that it may serve as a landing site or meeting place for extraterrestrial beings. Unusual sightings in the area have fueled speculation about alien activity.
If you're here, I presume you have already heard about all the Denver airport conspiracy stuff. And it is definitely spooky, and those murals are not something that I would think would soothe somebody that's about to get on a plane. There's a lot of nervous flyers out there, and that's probably the last thing I'd want to see before I get on a plane. And it definitely is very symbolic and weird, so maybe there's something to that. I think those murals are down now, if I'm not mistaken. And I know Blucifer killed the guy that made it, killed the artist that made that statue, so like that's spooky. But what I really think is going on at that Denver airport, I don't think it's alien connections or anything paranormal. I just think it's the new, updated, still secret version of this. So yeah, that's the old, decommissioned, top secret nuclear fallout shelter that the government had. They built that, I believe, in the 50s. So about time for an upgrade. And I'm guessing the new top secret fallout shelter is under or at least near the Denver airport. All the aliens and paranormal stuff is probably just, you know, what the government does, disinformation. Oh, yeah, I just think it's about aliens. But it's probably nothing more crazy than their secret hideout for if there's a nuclear war. That's my speculative guess anyway. Oh, and remember that video earlier that said search your city and the Great Fire of your city. Here's another fun thing to search: your name and the hedgehog. Here's mine. I still haven't found a name that does not yield results, so that's fun. And on that note, I bid you all a very fond farewell. Hopefully you can, again, like, subscribe, do all the stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. I'm new at this, but if you like these videos and you want me to make more, I need some encouragement or interaction or whatever it is to promote the algorithm, I guess. Anyway, have a good all of the time. Keep it creepy, y'all.